Hey Clover High School, I'm Claire and this is David. Welcome to the second episode of the Squawk.
We have a couple different things we want to talk to you today about. Stuff about the new drama play, what to do, what not to do in the parking lot, some new disease that's going on, and a couple words from Miss Forrest.
Sorry.
But for now, let's go over to Lizzie, and she is going to talk about the drama play.
Conceived in liberty, and something about something in my beard would be awfully large. I thought about it for a couple years about using that show. So it's something I've wanted to do because I love the story, and it's also in our curriculum. So I know that some 8th graders read it, some 9th graders read it. It's used in the school. So I thought it might be something that might attract more people to it, and I was right in terms of auditions because we got a lot more people than last year for our auditions. So. Oh, it's one of the hardest things. It's really, really difficult because especially when we get a lot of people, that means the talent level is really high, and it was for this show. We had a lot of people who were right for a lot of different roles, so it becomes really difficult for me to make decisions on who's right for the role, and that's what I base it on, is who do I think is going to be best for that role at that time. And so people only have a short amount of time to try to sell themselves and try to really invest themselves in the role. And even though people don't get cast in the show, doesn't mean that they didn't do well. We started rehearsals about a week and a half ago, and the show opens on October 24th. And we have all of that time to get ready. We have to block the show, which means make sure everybody's moving where and when they're supposed to. All the students have to memorize all of their lines, and there are a lot of lines for a few people in this show. Well, it helps for me to get to know them better and know what they're capable of, and it helps them being comfortable when they do the auditions and when they get up and in classes and during the show. It helps them be a little more comfortable with what they're doing.
Thanks, Lizzie. We're really looking forward to the play by Mr. Addison. Now, Claire, what's wrong with you?
What?
What's wrong with you?
I just don't want to be here anymore. I think I've got what's going around.
Got what?
You haven't heard?
No, heard what?
Dude, senioritis. It's bad.
Senioritis, what's that? Let's go talk to the nurse and see what that is.
So this year we've been seeing a lot of what has been called senioritis.
General lack of interest in everything. Just complete laziness.
Some of the symptoms that we've seen of senioritis this year already are some students being tardy, others not seeming to be able to find their way into the building from their cars. Other things that we're seeing is that they're wanting to come to the nurse's office real frequently, asking to call home. We're fearing that we're going to have to install some bunk beds come middle of this year. Hopefully not. If you teachers are seeing any of these symptoms, please let us know, because we're trying to get on top of it before it's out of control.
Senioritis is it's great, I put everything off at the last second. I don't study, I don't do my work or anything.
You come to school and you're in all of your classes, like your body's here, like I'm here right now, but actually right now I'm all the way at home in bed sleeping.
I drink 2 pots of coffee every morning.
We have seen some progressive worsening of these symptoms. It begins with them coming late to class, some late homework assignments. It progresses to not coming to class at all, skipping, being in the lunchroom for all 4 lunches, not turning in their homework. So please, like I've said, just keep an eye on this and report any symptoms that you're seeing so we can hopefully prevent any worsening.
Do, re, mi, fa. It's just affecting my grades, and I don't get any sleep anymore, and it's really great, and I just love school. And
It's awesome. You being a senior, man. Just do it. Just do it.
We're not sure how to cure this, but just to be on the lookout because it sounds like it's going to be a bad year.
I mean, you know, it's just hard every day coming in and still trying. You know, I mean, college, but I mean, whatever. It's just sad. It's just really sad.
Oh, senioritis. I just don't want to come to school, man.
Man, I'm glad I'm not a senior.
You'll get there.
Well, let's go to Miss Forrest for some wise words of wisdom.
We're here with Ms. Forrest in the Guidance Counseling Center. She's going to talk to us about what colleges look for and what makes a well-rounded student.
Lizzie, thank you. This is a pleasure. Many times when students are planning for their college or scholarship applications, they get a little bit nervous about the phrase well-rounded student. So we're going to talk today what that phrase actually means. And a well-rounded student is a student who is part of a community. I'm going to share with you the PowerPoint that I prepared this morning about being a well-rounded student. So a community, what exactly is community? So community is how the student interacts in many different areas. For example, how are you in your academics? But that's just one part of the puzzle. Where do you live? Who do you live with? What kinds of sports and physical activities are you involved in to maintain a very healthy lifestyle? Do you work or do you contribute volunteer hours that benefit your community? How about the arts? What do you do that you feel very passionate about and that feeds your soul with music or art or drama or dancing? And then finally, a very important part of community is how you interact with other people. Are you involved in clubs? Do you babysit? Do you work with other people? How do you interact with other people? Now, why is being part of a community important to colleges? Because colleges want to know two things. First of all, they want to know who you are. What do you do outside of school? And the second thing that's really important is how will you contribute to their community? A college is just more than going to class and reading your books and going home and studying. It is being a part of a very active campus and active lifestyle. To put it in another perspective, I did a little time management sheet, and if you'll just follow through with me. So in 1 week, you have 7 days with 24 hours. So each week you have a total of 168 hours. So let's say you spend 40 hours in school. And then after 40 hours in school, if you're a really good student, you spend 2 hours a night studying, right? Okay, so that's another 10 hours. So we're going to subtract that. We're going to go ahead and say that every teenager spends 8 hours a night sleeping. So we're going to take off 56 hours a night for sleeping. And let's say another 12 hours for eating, doing your laundry, and other chores. That leaves you 50 hours a week. So the question is, as part of a community and as part of being a well-rounded student, how do you choose to spend that 50 hours a week of free time that you have every week? And the last thing, if you are sitting here and going, I do have 50 free hours a week, how am I going to spend that? I have some suggestions. So first of all, talk to your friends. You probably have something in common with your friends and they may be active. So talk to them and find out what they're involved in. The second thing are clubs. There's an excellent bulletin board on the 9th grade Academy hallway that lists almost every single club we offer at Clover High School. So go check that out. If you're in a class that you love, like video production or business classes or introduction to drama, sign up for something related to that class after school. The business classes are very involved in FBLA, which is a great program. The drama classes are involved in the tech crew and drama. And then last but not least, look around in your community. If you're part of a religious organization, they may have some extracurricular activities too. So don't be afraid by the phrase, the well-rounded student. We want to encourage everyone at Clover High School to be involved. So thank you, Lizzie.
Thank you, Ms. Forrest, for sharing that. Now back to Claire and David.
Thanks, Miss Forrest. That's some really good advice. No, just gotta find this.
David.
I can't find
David,
any
what are
rules
you-
about the parking lot.
Why are you looking at the rule book? Who looks at the rule book?
That's where the rules are, aren't they?
You don't know about the unwritten rules of the parking lot?
If they're unwritten, they're not rules.
Oh, they are.
How many of you are ready at the end of the day to go home, but you can't get out of the parking lot because so many people are cutting you off?
We tried to think of the best way to say don't cut people off, and we kind of summed it down to just don't cut people off.
We have a lot of competitions here at Clover High School.
There's one competition, however, that I don't get. Honking. How do you win?
Be kind. Don't leave your door open when somebody's trying to park. I understand a lot of you are in a rush to get home at the end of the day. So am I. But you need to be safe about it.
Because speeding out of your parking space can cause maximum damage. Just because you have the right of way doesn't make it right.
When people are trying to leave or come to school, don't walk in front of their car.
Oh my God, you guys! My life sucks. My life sucks.
Clover High School is not a car show, so if you want to show off your big loud trucks, then just go to a car show and enter your truck into it, I guess.
Claire, you broke every single one of those rules.
What are you talking about?
Alright. Well, if you have any ideas for any future stories, send it to this email right here, right there. And, or go to room 614, talk to Mr. Reed, and he'll listen to you. Or find one of us in the hallway and we'll write your story down. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the second episode of the Squawk. See ya.
Adios. That's bye in Spanish.